My favorite brand too. Beatles is my.
It's so smooth.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
So we're starting from the top.
From the top.
Alright, so they gave you guys a nylon brush. This is gonna be during your service, before your service. We can disinfect this. I did ask Mr. T to get us a classroom set because when we talk about getting the debris off your nails, you're gonna need this. You guys can, as we go through it, you can check it off of your list so that you can see what's left. We got a pumice stone. This is porous. This cannot be disinfected. This is one-time use. Save this for yourself. So when we do, like today, we're going to get into some pedicuring. So hopefully y'all got some feet that we could get into. But say I'm doing Laura's pedicure. I'm going to use Laura's pumice stone on herself. She can reuse this. She can put this in your shower, in her shower. Hey, hi, y'all too. She can put this in your shower, but do not use this or reuse this on anybody. It can't be clean. They gave you 2 dapping dishes. One is glass, one is plastic. The plastic is thick enough to withstand monomer and acetone, however you guys decide to use it. Notate on your list, your dapping dish. For beginner purposes, this is cool. You want to go grab, we can start on our list now. You want to go grab one that's a better size than this. This is easily polluted. You're going to be changing monomer like crazy. It's going to be easy to get your acrylic off your brush into here. You're going to waste a lot of monomer with this little dish. Go get you a decent sized dish. They gave you 2 glues. Not the best quality. Get on Amazon, order you. They give you bulk. I like Model 1s, but I haven't seen a bulk Model 1s glue, but they have other ones. Go get you some glue, because these will be dried up in 2 seconds. I can promise you, okay? I've been doing this for a minute. They gave you guys a regular top coat and base coat. They gave you guys a gel top coat and base coat. Everything that's in your kit, right, except for your stainless steel stuff and your dapping dish and stuff like that, you're going to use when we're practicing amongst ourselves. When we have clients from the outside, then we use the classroom set of stuff. All right. There might be a couple more things that you're going to use in here, but like your acetone and stuff like that, we use a classroom set when we're working on people. When we're working on each other, you're working at home, you work with your stuff. They gave you guys a set of art brushes. Also, another investment to make. Go get some better ones. Amazon has some cheap ones that are better than these. Okay? Go get some better art brushes. Especially, you guys want me to teach you art, you're going to be struggling with these. They get the job done, but go get some more. This, I think, is another art brush, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is good for like when you're cleaning up your extra polish around your sidewalls. This is good for your French. This brush here. I'm gonna also show you guys how to break in your brushes. They gave you guys a primer. I'm not gonna lie, I have not used this primer, but the school primer that they gave me when I was in school, I hunted it down because that's probably been the best primer that I've used. This I can't vouch for because this is not the same thing, but I think that they kind of know what they're doing, but this has been the best primer that I've used thus far. I don't know why there's a random nail clipper. She should have given you guys a whole stainless steel set. Hopefully it's in the bottom. Nail tips. Not the best. Good for practice, okay? Good for your little practice fingers. These fingers kind of are the same way that I feel about the hand that they gave you guys. You're gonna use this finger once or twice, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing else with it. They have mechanical, like the same way you got the mechanical hands, they have mechanical fingers with the tips you can press on. If you want to do it like that to where you're not always having to bust out a whole fresh set. They gave you guys buffers. Also, one-time use. I mean, cute and all, one-time use. Use it on yourself, use it on your mannequins, do not use it on each other. If you're going to do a service on Laura, make Laura use her buffer for herself. Laura, don't use your buffer to do Ty's nails.
Okay.
But these are one-time use. Nail suppliers, go find you some bulk buffers. Buffers should be 180 to 240. 180 to 240. Anything outside of that is gonna be rough. This purple one that they gave y'all, rough. Okay, it's rough. The only thing you should be using that on is acrylic, but even still, it's still rough. They gave you guys an acrylic brush. This brush is not the worst. It's not the best. Okay, but it's good as a start. Again, I'm going to show you guys how to break in your brushes. If you guys have not experienced that, or you don't know what I mean by that, I'm going to show you guys before you actually use it. So tonight, don't go home and start doing acrylic and we did not break in our brushes. Okay, I would hate for when it's time to do acrylic, y'all have already ruined your brushes. They're not giving you another one. Acrylic brushes and monomer are your bread and butter to this industry, and they are expensive. So until you know what you're doing, until we start playing with it, I would rather not, especially if you don't have any experience with acrylic, because like I said, I hate for you guys to tear up your brushes before we can even get started. It's going to be a long 8 weeks for you. They put the nail clipper in, but like I said, I hope that they actually have a whole kit. They gave you guys fingers, as I said. Your products, remember I spoke to you about acetone and monomer being vapors. We're not keeping this in hot cars. You're gonna come and you ain't gonna have no monomer left. You ain't gonna have no acetone left. Do not this stuff. I'm not talking about this stuff. But your monomer and your acetone, it evaporates. Hot cars, you ain't gonna have no product left. And be mindful with heat and with these bottles. You'll leave it in your car. It's hot in Florida. You're gonna come out and all your top coat gonna be all over everything in here. Put your stuff in the house. Take it back out when it's time to come to school. In your case, I know you said you're traveling and stuff. We'll talk to the front office so that you can store it so you don't have to walk back and forth. But I can't tell you if they're going to say yes or no. But I also can't say that nobody's going to touch it when it's back here. Okay, so we're going to figure out how to help you out there. Alright, I just love that they gave you guys a training mat. Yeah. The fingers are a little exaggerated, but it's okay because it's a training mat. I think you guys probably need it to begin with. Oh, fancy. They did not give us this last time. They gave you guys your own lights. Ooh. Okay, see, we got classroom sets. They did not give us that last time. So remember, all this stuff you need to be checking off your list to say, okay, you got it. This right here is your stainless steel stuff. This is all your stuff that can be disinfectant. This is going to be your nail clipper. This is going to be a file in there. There's going to be nippers in there. There's going to be tweezers, scissors, amongst some other things that's in that case. Everything that you use in that case, including the nail clippers that they put on the top, is all stuff that we are cleaning, disinfecting, and can be reused. Okay? I'm going to show you guys how to properly use that stuff. When the time has come, we'll probably get into it today. You have your nail tips. They gave you guys nail tips. These are not the same nail tips. I think so you got, what is this? Hold that for me, please. Because it looks like they switched up a little stuff on me. Hold on. It looked like they may have given you guys 2 things in nail tips. Yes. So this white thing here is another case of nail tips. So it looks like they gave you guys 2.
Okay.
Alright, so a little side note about nail tips, y'all. Huh? All your stuff is filled?
Yeah. That was when the right thing was wet.
I give you that. That's the alcohol. Did you
got up by that?
Oh my god, that's alcohol. That could be here.
Yo, I just smelled it and it hit
It's
my
alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so the nail tips that they gave you, I can't vouch for these, but I can vouch for these. Now, anybody that is actually in the nail industry already, right? Ty, you may know what I'm talking about. Laura, you may know what I'm talking about. You know that all these suppliers and all these companies, they're going to vouch for their nail tips. I spent a lot of money on nail tips, and some of them I can't use even if I wanted to. because you're gonna have some thick plasticky nail tips. Find you some nail tips. You might have to play around with a few, but I personally like this classic look. I like the classic feel. I think Dynamic has some good nail tips that are nice, thin plastic, even when you start venturing off into longer and you start venturing off into different colors, your clears and your different shapes. Just make sure that you don't just find a company and buy a whole bunch, because you might be disappointed when they're not sticking to the nails because they're just thick plastic nails. Okay?
Is this a manicure bowl?
That is a manicure bowl. This is also another dapping dish, another version of a dapping dish. If you're mixing acrylics, you can use this. If you need a dish for your acetone while you're doing nail art, you could, another dapping dish, yeah. You got your manicure bowl. Everybody gets their own. That's another dapping dish. But like I said, with the dapping dish, you want to go and invest in a bigger one. Okay? Don't go buy a glass dapping dish off of Amazon for $15 when Shein got them for $3. Okay, I'm gonna just give y'all a little sauce in a little bit as far as supplies are concerned. You got your manicure bowl. Sky, you okay over there? You got a lot going on,
I'm
miss.
very overstimulated right now. There's so much happening. Okay, I'm okay now.
You sure?
No. Oh, so we can move forward.
All right. You got your manicure bowl. Everybody has one. The only time that I feel like you might need two is when you're doing soak offs, just for the sake of time. This is another one of those things. This will take you where you need to go. But if I had a choice, I would use this for the wet manicures. But when it's time for soak offs, go spend a little money on a soak off bowl. Go get you a glass bowl. Or like I spend the money for the little heated soak off situation. That's good. Then they gave you guys the plastic hand. Like I said, this is good for 1 or 2 uses, maybe 3 depending on how good you are. And then this is gonna be trash. All right, go buy the hand that I put in the group chat. All right, they gave you guys cuticle oil. They gave you guys cuticle oil. They gave you guys cuticle softener. I don't know if your bottles have the labels, but this is cuticle softener. This like translucent white stuff. They gave you guys, should be 2 monomers.
Okay.
Did you not, do you guys not have acetone? Everybody look at your bottles. Are they both alcohol?
My acetone already halfway done.
Alright, yeah.
My alcohol is spilled.
Is that acetone or alcohol? Acetone. Okay, yours we gotta swap it out. So she's supposed to give us 2 monomers. She'll probably just wait to refill it. Maybe she ran out of bottles. I don't know. But it's supposed to be a monomer. It's supposed to be an alcohol, and it's supposed to be an acetone. Okay. Normally she would have given 2 of these. Maybe she's running short, but she owes you guys another one. I'm gonna also tell you, go invest in your own monomer. It's expensive. Don't go to the studio trying to be fancy and go get one of these for $60. Go spend $100 and get you a gallon. Okay? Go somewhere different and get you a gallon. Or get you something a little bigger. The studio will have you with these little bottles and you're going to pay $60 for it. And it's going to be a mess. This guy, you really need some help over here.
Yes, it's
what is happening?
The weight distribution. I took all the stuff out, so the weight distribution went off, and they put it.
All right, so with your acrylics, remember I told you guys do not invest in a whole bunch of crazy acrylic colors. This is the basis of what you need: pink, brown, clear, and white. Now, these are not the best. Y'all have probably heard me say that a million gazillion times. Because you will sit in this class, if you do not invest in some better acrylics, you will sit in this class and feel like you are failing and you're not getting it because these are garbage. First class garbage. I'm going to tell you it's garbage. Okay? It's garbage. But on the flip side, if you do learn how to do acrylic with these, that means that you could probably use any other system there is out there. You start with the worst, that means you could work with the best. All right? So do what you can when you can. how you can. I personally, I work with Dynamic. Dynamic is an advanced system. It hardens fast. Mia Secret is a good beginner system. Huh?
The nails, get it out the nails.
Dynamic, you can't get out of a nail store. There is a. I'm gonna put. I still owe you guys a list, but I'm going to put some suggestions that I have for where to get different supplies, so you're not overspending in one place when you can get it way cheaper somewhere else, or even when it comes down to brands, what I've learned being in the industry so far. Because you weren't here for I graduated 2 years ago, I think, and we still trying to figure out, I think it was 24. I graduated from here in 24. I was teaching here by January 25. This is just past my year being here. So I've only been in the industry 2 years, a year and a half. So I'm a newbie to teaching, and I'm still considered a newbie doing nails. So everything that I tell you guys here, aside from like the book work and stuff like that, is just my opinion. You're going to figure out what works for you. Some stuff is going to be valid. That doesn't make it law. So what I use doesn't have to be what you use. But I could just offer you suggestions for what I know and what I've seen other people use and work for them. All right, and then these forms. I have to teach you guys forms. By the time we get to forms, you're not going to have no more stickers left. Go spend $10 and get you a roll of forms. When you're looking for forms, you want them to be long, you want them to be thick. You can see she already has some missing. These are probably the cheapest stickers that you could get. They're not gonna work. You'd be lucky if you have any left by the time we get to it. Mm-hmm. Then they gave you guys a bunch of little art, little cute stuff. Y'all got a bunch of different foils, color foils, a bunch of little beginner rhinestones and stuff like that, so y'all could get some nail art done. Cute. All right. Let me see what else is on this list that I will highly suggest. Did you guys take a picture of this so that y'all know what I'm looking for homework tonight?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Laura, you got your phone going already. Can you take a picture of this and put it in the group chat, please? This is y'all homework for tonight. We skipped chapter 3, but I do think that there are key things that you guys need to look over in the chapter despite us skipping it. Especially these sections here, they matter. We just didn't need to do a whole another week for this chapter. All right, you got it for me, Sky?
Yeah.